What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the spiritual ego. A lot of people have to deal with this in their spiritual journey. They develop a spiritual ego. Now, what is the spiritual ego? When the spiritual ego speaks, when it expresses itself, when it reaches out, it says, help. I'm having a hard time relating to normal people. I'm having a hard time finding anyone to talk to because of my newfound awareness. I'm seeing the superficiality of the conversations, of the interactions between my peers, and I no longer want that. I have discovered a deeper meaning to life. And I feel so different because of it. That's what the spiritual ego sounds like. Now, I believe personally that the spiritual ego is very, very important in the beginning stages of a lot of people's spiritual awakening. Okay, and I'll explain it to you like this. Imagine that we have a drug addict, someone who's been addicted to drugs for 10 years, and they finally make this decision to get clean. So they might go to some sort of group like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, and they surround themselves with new people that live a different lifestyle than the one that they're used to, and they try their hardest to fit in to this new lifestyle. And so they'll be there, maybe they accumulate some clean time, like a month, a whole month they haven't used drugs. Okay? Then they will go out in public and they will point out people and say, look at that fucking drug addict, dude, disgusting. I hate junkies. I can't stand being around junkies anymore. And it's like, bro, don't you remember just a month ago you were a junkie? See? But what's really going on here is that this person has identified another way of living that they believe is going to be better for them. So they need to do everything that they can to avoid that old shit. And the ego helps. The ego says, look at that. That's disgusting. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Stay away from it. Disgusting. And it really helps the addict to solidify themselves in their new lifestyle or in their new position on life. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people come to spirituality, they experience an awakening as a result of great pain and suffering and trauma from their past. Right? They've been experiencing a life experience thus far that they don't want to experience anymore. So in order to solidify themselves on their new position in life, they develop a spiritual ego that really helps them to stay there. You see what I'm saying? Now, it's used like a crutch in the very beginning. But if you continuously rely on this crutch, if you never get over it, it'll make you look really silly, okay? At a certain point, after a person develops this thing called a spiritual ego, in order to advance, they must develop within themselves some sort of humility. And humility often grows naturally in the humble person as a result of a certain type of humiliation. Okay? But it's a certain type of humiliation. It's not the humiliation that results when someone is bullying you out in public and embarrassing you out of malicious intent. This is a different type of humiliation. Okay? The humiliation I'm talking about is like when you realize that you've been wrong, or you realize that you've made a mistake and you own up to that. Sometimes that can be humiliating, especially in a public setting. Especially in a public setting is this embarrassing. Like, imagine you were out with a group of friends and you and somebody else get into this argument. You get into this debate. Maybe it's even a heated debate. And you're like arguing your point so hard. Like you're convinced that you're right. And then somebody comes through and proves to you beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are wrong, that you are incorrect. And now you must accept that, because if you were to continue to defend this mistake, it would be considered a net loss in this social situation. So you have to sort of own up to your faulty thought processes, and that's humiliating. But as a result, you may develop some humility. And a person with a very strong spiritual ego, or a very strong ego in whatever area of life, this could result in almost an existential crisis. It's like what happens when Sherlock Holmes is finally wrong. He can't accept it. And once he does accept it, it may begin to torment him. Like, if I was wrong about this relatively trivial thing, what else could I have been wrong about? What if I was wrong about something of importance this entire time, and I've just been completely unaware of it? What if I've been wrong about a lot of things, and I've been completely unaware of it, just like I was completely unaware of this? And this line of questioning, when a person goes and begins to question themselves, this develops a certain type of humility. You see what I'm saying? And humility is an attractive quality in a human being, because a humble individual is able to continuously be learning new things. You see, whereas an arrogant individual will keep themselves stuck in a loop of humiliation. The only thing is, they're the only ones that can't see it. Everybody else is laughing at them because they take themselves so seriously. That's a funny thing. If you take yourself very seriously, or take your beliefs very seriously, you will become a joke. Just ask Karen. You can watch YouTube compilations all day of Karens. These are usually middle-aged white women that are freaking out in public over something small. They're making mountains out of molehills. They take themselves very seriously in the moment. And then they are transformed into a meme, and literally the entire world laughs at them. And if they were able to look at that footage and own up to it, they would be humiliated. But maybe they could begin to laugh at themselves. And that's called humility. When you can find the humor in your own mistakes, find the humor in your own foolishness, now you're sort of in on the joke. Nobody's laughing at you. They're laughing with you now. Who are you? You're so important. You're so serious that no one's allowed to laugh at you. That'll keep you from trying new things in life. You'll be afraid to try new things because inevitably you're going to make a mistake. But your ego says you're not allowed to make mistakes, because then people will laugh at you. But then how are you going to try anything new? How are you going to get good at anything if you can't make a mistake? If you don't allow yourself to make a mistake, you'll just stay inside in your little shell. Arrogance results in oftentimes a repression of authentic expression. A lot of people think they have low self-esteem or something like this, and that's why they won't wear that outfit they've always wanted to wear. But no, it's a pride issue. You're afraid to be laughed at. You're afraid to get funny looks. Like, who are you, bro? At a certain level in life, we're all just here to entertain each other. You're supposed to laugh at me. I'm supposed to laugh at you. I got a lot of daily stresses going on. And if you can provide me with some entertainment, if you can take my mind off of those daily stresses, hey, that's a blessing, bro. So a lot of people go into the entertainment industry just for this reason. They've humbled themselves enough to allow people to laugh at them, because laughter is a beautiful thing. Laughter is healing. People love to laugh, but if no one can laugh at you, you're not going to be that fun to be around. You know what I mean? Anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.